Hey, what's up, everybody? Life is worth living. Let's get it popping. I need to take a drink. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Life. Listen, your life is worth living, and the rest of your life is going to be the best of your life. I believe that God has so much in store for us. I believe that you are created for so much more. Take the limits off. Take the brakes off and begin to expand your mind. The Bible talks about be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. I pray in this session today, as we go through this podcast, you will renew your mind. Take the brakes off, take the limits off. God has so much in store for you, but he wants you to be empowered. He wants you to be enriched, and he wants you to walk as an example. And then he wants you to execute. He wants you to execute. A lot of people talk about what they're going to do, but it's more talk than it is show. But I believe that God doesn't just want to impress your life. He wants to impact your life. And the only way to impact your life is to get you to see that there's leadership inside of you. So today I want to talk about really leadership that carries vision. There must be vision inside of a leader. I believe this. I'm going to give you 3 phases. I believe it's going to help you. You lead down, and not only you lead laterally, and you lead up. You lead down. So if you are a leader, you have to enrich the people that's up under you. Then you lead laterally, people that are on your level. Then you lead up. How do I lead up? You mentor the next group. You enrich the next group. You empower the next group. But the only way to start is to see what God has put in you. And once God has given you the power, then you can start operating in kingdom. I wrote something some years ago, and I want to share that with you today, that reality, perception equals reality. Whatever you perceive as a leader, that's real to you. No one can get that out of you. Whatever you perceive, I can't talk it into you. I can't talk it out of you. Whatever you are, that's who you are. And the only way for that to change is that you have to change. And change is not change until something changes. We can talk change, but if change is not implemented, if something's not happening, it's nothing but conversation. I shared with the team this morning, and I want to share with you all today. If you think you're a leader and nobody's following you, you're merely taking a walk. Let me say it again. If you think you're a leader and no one's following you, you are merely taking a walk. So I want you to raise your level of thinking. I want you to believe that God has given you more than you can ever imagine. Everything about God is about image. And I'll say this, people treat you like they see you. People treat you like they see you. So if they see you like that, they're going to treat you like that. And the only way for them to change the way they treat you is the way they see you. And the only way they're going to see you is how you see yourself. So how you see yourself will determine in regards to how people treat you. So if you treat yourself average, they're going to treat you average. If you treat yourself with low self-esteem, they're going to treat you the same way. Well, they should treat me better than that. Why? Why should they treat you any better than you treat yourself? So what you need to do is raise your level, your image of who you are based on God. God never wanted us to be a vagabond. And please, I'm going to share this with you after my years of just talking and encouraging people. A hobo will not get on the train that's sitting still. If the train is not moving, why would I jump on it? And those of y'all want people to follow you and you're not going any place, why would they follow you? So your perception is real to you. What you perceive is real to you. And quality equals excellence. Your quality of life will equal the level of excellency in your life. Everything's about, life's about first class. Now, I want to talk to a few people right now and let you know that there's first class in you, but you got to get it out of you. Now, right now, I can fly first class, but I have an image of myself, and because I don't want to spend all the money for first class right now, I fly in the exit row. Anybody know what I'm talking about? So the exit row gives me the leg space that I need. It also gives me the room that I need in the exit row. So I upgrade myself so I can sit in another class. Now, eventually, I'm going to get to first class where it doesn't bother me. And I want to say to leaders today, stop being where you're not supposed to be. Some of you trying to be in first class and know that first class ticket is $1,700 and all you got is $1,700. So maybe you need to upgrade a little later on, but use what you have. So maybe fly coach right now as a leader, and then eventually have it in your vision expectation for first class, so you have some place to go. I believe that life is really about advancing and progressing, but understanding the process. The process is what will determine the progress. You got to go through what you go through. You got to go, well, I've been talked about. Yeah. This is going to bless somebody. The best thing that happened to you is what happened to you. The best thing that's happening to me right now is what's happening to me. But as a leader, I want to upgrade. And the only way for me to upgrade, I got to be able to take what I'm taking so I can go where I need to go. I'm going to share my vulnerability today with some of you all, but please don't hold it against me. I went to a store and was buying something at a store, and I am a leader, but I didn't act like a leader. I was kind of on a low. And the cashier that was serving me, I walked by her and she said, "Stop standing by my drawer," looking at me as if I was a thief. And I kind of took it some kind of way. Something on the inside kind of turned on the inside of me. And then she said, and I asked her, "Can I have her pen to write the check?" And she said, "You didn't carry a pen with you?" And by this time, I'm building up now. I got all this stuff building up in me. And all of a sudden, it just came out. I said, "No, wait a minute now." And I kind of went in, all the way in. "Well, you a pastor." Of course. But I had a moment. And when I walked out, someone said, "You flunked that test." Many of us flunked the test. Now, someone said, "Well, you did that." And no, that happened to me, but that's not me. And I want to say, some of you that are listening to me right now, you may have done that, but that is not you. You're going to learn from that. That's the process of the progress. Now, in the moment, I went there. Glory to God. But thank God when I came out of it, I knew who it was I was serving. And sometimes we need to take a break, pause for station identification as leaders, and find out, what am I supposed to be doing? I flunked the test. And then again, I didn't want to give myself an F, so I gave myself a D-, when really I got an F. Some of you that are listening to me right now and even hearing me, you're living your life in the F mode, failures. But I want to say to you today that if you can get up from there, encourage yourself through your misfortune, through your incident, through your accident, that life will be much better because you've learned from what you've gone through. That's where quality equals excellence. The quality will equal the excellence that you have. It's how you have quality in your life. You can have a lot of things, but quality is not quantity. Quality is what you have. Let's say, for instance, you have 5 suits, and I'm going to use this as a scenario and as an example. You can make those 5 suits 40 suits. You just have to change the shirt and the tie. So you don't need to keep changing the suits, but learn how to suit up your mind to be creative. And I want to speak to a few of you right now. There's creative juices inside of you. And the only way to get those juices out of you, there must be an obstacle, because the obstacles create opportunities. I'm talking good. The obstacles that you're going through is going to create an opportunity. So those 5 suits that you can make almost 20 suits. You just change the shirt up, change the tie up, change the pants up. And I don't want to tell you what colors to get because I'm kind of outdated with the colors. But I'm telling you, you can make it work. If you are a leader, if you're writing something down now, you can make it work. How do I make it work? I use what I have. I begin to use what I have in my hand. I want to say to those of you all that are even listening right now, and it may seem like I'm pushing a lot on you, but I want you to know that if you can lead through hurt, pain, through disappointment, through rejection, through being talked about, criticized, lead through that. It is not going to be perfect, but you can learn through what you've gone through. You can learn through what you've gone through. Another one I want to say to you all, order brings organization. If you have order, it brings organization. And disorder will bring reorganization. When you are organized, it brings order. When you put things in perspective, you have order. And order is really life-changing. When you have order in your marriage, when you have order in your business, when you have order in your body, when you have order with your children, it creates organization. The more order you have, the more organization you will have. The more disorder you have, the more reorganizing you're going to have to do. Well, let me reorganize. Let me start all over again. Well, I don't think we're created to keep starting over. I think you ought to see benefits from the start that you have. I believe God has given you and I something where we can move forward. Paul said this, I'm forgetting those things which are behind, and I'm reaching forth to those things which are before. So if you have order, you have organization. I remember one preacher telling me something years ago that he organized his suits and put them in plastic. And I didn't understand, well, when I mean plastic, when you go to the cleaners. And his suits were so organized that he had them according to color. Now, I learned something in 1997, I believe it was. And when I heard that, I went home and started practicing that. What do you mean? I practiced putting my suit in plastics or in the cleaner bags. And I found out I didn't have to go to the cleaners that much. Why? Because it was organized. You know, when I was going out in my suit, I wasn't sweating. I wasn't. There was nothing that was creating sweat where the suit was dirty. But when I got back home, instead of just throwing it on the bed and throwing it on the chair, I put it back on the hanger, put it back in the plastic. And guess what? You don't need to clean it as much. Come on, I'm trying to help some leaders in here. You keep doing over because there's no organization. But when you organize something, when you put things in perspective, then what you are doing, you have order. All right? Everything has a place and everything in its place. Everything has a place and everything in its space. So if you have a place for everything, put everything where everything needs to be. I wish I had some real people that would say life is worth living. So let's go back over the top. Let's go back to what we talked about, all right? Perception equals reality. Order brings organization, and disorder brings reorganization, all right? Now, I want to say this. Any area of unbalance makes everything unstable. Any area that's unbalanced in your life makes everything unstable. So how do I stabilize things in my life? I begin to balance things. The Bible talks about in Proverbs that a false balance is an abomination, but a just weight is his reward. So when things are unbalanced, that means everything's going to be off. Why? Well, I'm okay with my money, but I'm not okay with my time. I'm okay with my time, but I'm not okay with my money. Well, I've learned something even just the other day, that when you waste time, you do not get time back. So you have to manage your time. We talked about this last time. You have to manage the time that you have and don't waste time. If you looked at life, and we talked about this last time, that every day you get $100,000, but at the end of the day you get nothing. At the end of the day you have nothing. How have you spent that $100,000? Let's reorganize. You get 24 hours in a day. What are you going to do with that 24 hours? Are you going to waste it? Or are you going to make that time count? As a financier, as a lawyer, as a doctor, as a student, as a father, as a husband, as a son, how do you manage the time you have? And then use that time to build your future. How do I build my future? I make life much easier as I get older. All right? So that's talking about any area of unbalance makes everything unbalanced. Thinking ahead will make you an ultimate leader because you get there faster. If you think ahead, if you start thinking, you will get there faster. I've been saying this for years, and sow a thought, reap an act. Reap a habit, character, destiny. Whatever you think, you act. So whenever you act like something, that means you've been thinking like something. You have never done anything without thinking about it first. Well, I don't know how I messed up that money. You thought about it, and you did something. You said, okay, I'm just going to take this and spend this money. I don't know how this marriage is messed up. You thought about it. You felt rejection, and you said, I'm going to vent. So everything starts with a thought. The Bible says, so a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So everything about life is about what you see. Let me give you this, because I think about 5 more minutes. I don't want to give you all of it today, but I want y'all to tune back in on next week. But I want to give you this. The Bible talks about renewing the mind. And there's something about renewing your mind. And when I talk about renewing your mind, I'm talking about doing your mind over again. Whichever way you're thinking, every day I wake up, I get a new mind. Every day I wake up, not that the old one is gone, but every day I wake up, I got a new idea. Every day I wake up, it's a new day to be creative. Every day I wake up, it's a new way to trust God and depend on God. So I'm not leaning to my own understanding, but in all my ways I'm acknowledging him. He shall direct my path. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter number 10 and verse number 17, he who keeps instruction is in the way of life, but he who refuses correction goes astray. So being a leader is knowing how to receive constructive criticism. Well, and stop taking constructive criticism as they don't like me. Sometimes we need the rejection, so it will make us go further in God and get over it. Get over it. So we need that. So how do I renew my mind? Be not conformed to this world. Romans 12:1. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. How do I renew? By the renewing of my thoughts. I'm changing the way I've been thinking. I'm not going to say what I said to that person at that supermarket. I'm going to change that thought. I've been there, done that. I saw what that brought. It brought consequences of feeling low. And what if that person that I was going off on would come to my church and say, that's the guy that snapped on me at the supermarket. I'll probably be like, sorry. So you have to live your life as if Jesus is watching. You got to live your life like Jesus is watching. Now, please, I want to give you this before I close, and that is most visionary people, they see into the future. They are not looking so much with microscope. They're looking with a telescope. Most leaders look into the future. Isaiah said, in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord high and lifted up. 700 years before Jesus was born, Isaiah saw it. I believe we can get in a place where we can see the future, but you can't see the future always looking at your situation. Most of the traffic reports that's accurate, you get from a helicopter because they're flying above the traffic. It's hard for you to get a good read of your life when you're down on this level. You got to get higher. And the only way to get higher is to change your thinking. The last point is this, and hopefully this will get you to thinking, because my whole idea is to get you to thinking. This one guy, he landed his plane, a crop plane, and he landed the plane and he ascended high, got some cargo, and he ascended high. And when he started ascending, he found out he heard a sss in the back of the plane. He said, what is that? When he turned around, it was a snake. A snake. And he said, he found out in his biology class that a snake cannot live in high altitude. So guess what he did? He pulled back on the throttle and he went higher. And the higher he got, the snake couldn't take the pressure. I want to say to those of y'all that are viewing me today, the higher you get, the more people are going to fall off, because God's got a higher dimension, a higher call on your life. Well, thank you for letting me share this with you today. I want those of y'all to tune in to Life is Worth Living podcast, because you're going to experience a better life, because the rest of your life is going to be the best of your